The sun hung low over the dusty plains, igniting the horizon in fiery streaks of orange and crimson. At the threshold of a dilapidated cabin, he stood, broad-shouldered beneath a worn leather coat, hands gripping the reins of his horse. "Never come back after finishing the work," he barked, his voice slicing through the wind like a whip. There was harshness in the command, but beneath it lingered guilt, fear, and something he could not name. The young woman inside stiffened, her hands pressed against the rough wood, eyes wide with apprehension and determination. Pale from days spent indoors, cheeks soft and round, figure slightly heavy, she moved with quiet strength born of necessity. He did not look back as he swung onto the horse, dust rising around his boots, drifting toward her like whispered accusations. As the hoofbeats faded, leaving only the wind's whistle through broken windows, she lowered herself to the floor. Kneeling on splintered boards, she pressed a rag to the dust, pulling thick grime and cobwebs from the corners with deliberate care. Her hands, streaked with dirt and faintly calloused, bore the evidence of long hours tending to what no one else valued. A glass jar tipped over, shattering into glittering fragments. She flinched, clasping her hands over her mouth. "I'll finish this," she whispered, voice trembling, a fragile mantra against his command and the loneliness surrounding her. Her gaze drifted across the room's remnants, a tattered blanket in a corner, a rusted stove sagging against the wall, empty jars with faded labels hinting at meals long forgotten. Spider webs clung stubbornly to ceiling beams, catching the last rays of sunlight. She plucked them down carefully, each strand resisting her touch as if the cabin itself were unwilling to reveal its secrets. Her thoughts wandered briefly to him, the tall, unyielding man whose anger had etched itself into every word. Fleeting moments when his eyes softened, now rare and almost imagined, made her question what was real and what was wishful longing. A creak from above made her freeze. Wind rattled the windows. A loose board groaned beneath the weight of the day. Her pulse quickened. Kneeling lower, she scrubbed a stubborn patch, trembling. The reason she was here, the promise, the unfinished task, the debt, pressed heavily against her chest. Just finish it," she muttered, voice fragile. Exhaustion seeped into her limbs, knees aching against rough boards. Pressing her forehead to the wood, a soft whimper escaped her lips. Barely a sigh, yet laden with fear, longing, and unspoken words. Outside, the horse stopped mid-stride. A shadow shifted. The sound reached him, piercing the wall of his pride. He had tried to leave, but that fragile noise drew him back like a magnet. Jaw tight, he stood frozen, torn between anger and instinct to protect. Slowly, he dismounted, each step dragging him into the cabin, weighed by buried emotions. Wind gusted, mingling dry grass and dust with the faint lavender she used to clean. She continued her work, unaware of his presence, yet sensing the air shift, her small sobs trembling at the edge of her voice. The doorway framed him, a dark silhouette against dim light, every line tense. She did not look up, but the room hummed with unspoken emotion. His gaze lingered on her bowed head, trembling shoulders, and for the first time, he wondered if his harsh command had been cruel beyond repair. Outside, the wind carried her soft sobs, weaving them into the dying light, the cabin holding its breath. He remained silent, boots settling in dust like memory itself. Slowly, cautiously, he stepped inside, warmth filling the room. She sensed it before seeing it, a shift in light, a shadow across her arms, the weight of his gaze. Her hands froze mid-scrub, heart thumping violently. She dared not look up, fearing intensity she imagined in his eyes. And yet that fear mingled with hope she did not admit. Finally, he spoke, low, roughened by ride and buried emotion. "You shouldn't have been left alone with this, with me." No anger, just vulnerability, a tremor he could not suppress. I was wrong." The confession hung, a fragile bridge spanning the distance. She blinked, slowly raising her head, eyes meeting his, not with fear, but fragile curiosity. Lips parted, hesitant, testing the sound of hope. "I didn't mean," his words faltered. Hands twitched, gripping nothing, searching for anchor. Shadow trembled like his inner turmoil. Her lips curved faintly. I understand, she whispered. Not full forgiveness, but acknowledgement, recognition of flawed hearts meeting in dust and solitude. He stepped closer, air shifting again. Cabin seemed smaller, cozier, as their presence transformed walls. His hand hovered near hers, brushing the rag she clutched. Contact light, tentative, a question, an offering. She did not pull away. She allowed it, letting a thread of connection stitch across years of fear and unspoken longing. "Let me help," he said, voice softer than ever, stripped of pride and anger. Her shoulders relaxed slightly, shiver of relief running through her. "Yes," she murmured. Together. They worked side by side, hands brushing as dust and cobwebs were lifted. No rush, no words. Each gesture, each glance, each shared breath built a fragile rhythm. Outside, sun slipped below the horizon, leaving bruised purple skies. Cabin, once cold and oppressive, now carried warmth from her labor and the tentative companionship that had taken root. He stood behind her, watching her press the rag one last time. A long, still moment. They existed together, neither proud, neither broken, but something human, something alive. Distance that had defined them began to shrink, leaving possibility that next day might hold gentler moments, worth reaching for. Darkness claimed the plains, yet they did not speak. Words unnecessary. In hush of cabin, amid dust, shadows, lavender, they found a beginning in debris of endings, a start neither expected, but both needed.